today's class, and today we are going to be talking about typography style guide, and how to build a typography style guide from scratch, right? So I don't think there's too much of talking to do, so I'm just going to go straight into the video, or sorry, into the class rather, and just teach us exactly what to do, right? So before I start, let me show you an example. um, can you see this here? I created this textile for web and also for mobile. So in this class, I'm also going to be teaching us on how to do that, because most people only talk about just creating like one style guide, but nobody really tells you, oh, what about if you're designing for mobile? Do you get? You also need to factor that in as well. So I feel it's something that we should cover today, right? In the last class we covered color styles. That's why you can see like all these colors that here: primary, secondary, neutral, tertiary, which I said you can also be like your accent colors, and then semantic, right? So far I've just been able to add success, but I can still do the rest some other time, right? So today we are just going to go straight into it. So I'm going to delete these two, right? And then we just start from scratch, and we are all going to be building a text style guide together. So basically, what is a text style guide is basically, let me show you something. Can you see all this, right? Can see this is for the web, this is for the mobile. So this is like a guide on what you are meant to do, or what the sizes you are meant to do, right? I mean, you're meant to use when designing. Do you get? So you're not just designing and just using any text or anything based on how you feel, right? You have like a guide that guides you on how to use those texts throughout your design. And also, as I said, it's also important that when you're learning, you're also learning on how to work with other people, because there comes a time where you wouldn't be working alone, and you would be with people in a company, or you're working with developers. So definitely they will need a guide as to how you came up with those style guides, or how you came up with certain font sizes and all that. So this helps you to stay on track when you're designing, and it also helps you to help people who are working with you to best understand how you came up with those things, and they can also follow as well, right? So let's just start from the first thing, which is I'm going to use a plugin on Figma called um, text okay, let's see, style. Let's see, come in, let me see something. Okay, so let's use type skills, right? Let's first use type skills, then I'll show you the other one. So for type skills, right, if you can see, this is like base size. When you're asking yourself what is base size, what is all this grammar I'm seeing here, right? Your base size is literally saying like your body font, right? Like the base size, right? And your scale here, you can see things like minor third, major third, um, golden ratio, perfect fourth, and all those things. All these are just literally talking about like the difference in what they call it in font sizes. So for example, if you use this is let's go to this is major third, right? You can see the first one here is 61 pixels. You can see 49. If you reduce it to like maybe minor third, okay, let me change it back first so that you can all see this. This is 61, 49. This and this is a difference of 10. This is a difference of 8. Okay, now if you reduce it to like maybe minus second, you can see that the differences between them are much less. You can see this is a lower spacing difference: 24, 22. This is 2. This I think 1. This is 2, 1. So, and if you reduce it again, right, you can or increase it. Now you can see that it's higher. So that's what the scaling is. So for this I always use like a major third, right? I think a major third is good. And then I use a line height of 1.2. And then these scales, right? The base size is 16. So if the base size is 16 and you're having 6 scales upper from that 16, is counted from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if I reduce this now to 5, you see that it has reduced to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see that? And then the one below it is 2, which is this and this. So if I reduce it to 1, right, you see that it has changed to only 1 below this 16, because our base size is what, 16. So what I use is 6 scales above and then 2 below, right? That's what I always do. So it's like what I use when I'm creating like a typography style guide. So now I've created this, right? So let me bring in something, because I'm going to be using that as a guide throughout what I'm doing, so that we can all see it together. um, yeah. Okay, so what we are going to be doing is we are going to be using this as a guide to create our typography style guide, right? And you can see display 1, display 2, heading 1, 2, 3, 4, body small, and caption, right? So this is what we are going to be using as a guide to be able to create our own style guide. So now the first thing is we have used our plugin to generate this, right? And it has been able to generate this. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to double tap on each of them, like each of these text. Hold on my shift key and just double tap, 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 and then I can bring it out like that. And then what I'm going to do is shift A, right? And then I'm going to put maybe a padding 40 and 20, right? And maybe give it a feel of white so that we can all see it together. So I don't need this anymore, so I can delete this. So now I've been able to create this, right? And I'm going to, let me just duplicate this, because we're going to be doing both web, right? We're going to be doing desktop, which is web, and also mobile. So let's start. So the first thing is, let's do for the web. I'm going to duplicate this 3 times, because I want us to be able to create body fonts, I mean regular fonts, medium, and then bold, right? And I want to show us like a way of doing it. So this is going to be for a regular, this one is going to be for medium, and then this last one is going to be for bold, right? And I can do the same here as well, which is going to be for our mobile. So this one on top is going to be for our web, right? So now what am I going to do? Okay, so what am I going to do now? We have this, right? Now let me remove this one. Yeah, don't forget we're using this as a guide to know how we are going to set up our style guide, right? Now look at this. So now for the desktop, right, we have display 1, 2, heading 1 to 4, body small, and caption, and we're going to be doing that here. So now what we are going to do is each of these, we are going to carry each of them, which is this first one and this second one. They are going to be our display fonts, right? And I'm going to change the name. You can see currently is what, type at 61, type at 49. But I'm going to change the name. So to do that, you just click on Control R, and then you click on current name, and click on display. No, let me not do this. Let me use Control R and then display, and then you put dollar sign and N like this, and then boom. So now it automatically becomes display 1 and 2, which is this 1 and 2, right? Now next thing we want to do is create heading 1 to 4, right? So we go again, click on this one, hold on your shift key, click on this one, 2, 3, and 4, and then we do the same thing again, Control R, and then we rename it to, we want to name it heading 1 to 4, right? So if you click H, which is heading, and then put your dollar sign, and then N. It automatically, can you see this is a preview 1 to 4, and this is what we want, and then create. Boom. So now we have done display 1 and 2. If you come here, can you see it has changed? Display 1 and 2. We can see heading 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to do body small, and caption. So let's do that. So let's do this. So create this. Okay, I can just write this here. I can double tap this and write body, right? And then I double tap this and write body small. So this is like a smaller body font, and then here I can write like caption. Sorry, yeah, caption. So now I've been able to create this. I think let me just even delete all this, or let me delete this ones. Yeah, I'm going to delete all this. So we started from here, right? So we have this. So all these fonts now, if you look at them, they are currently, if you click on enter, they are currently on the regular font. So I said we are going to do regular, we are going to do regular, we are going to do medium, and then we are going to do, what's it called, bold, right? So now we have the one for regular. So let me just duplicate it, duplicate and duplicate. So now this one is going to be for regular, this one is going to be for this one is going to be for medium, and this one is going to be for bold, right? So this is what we have now. So we have this, right? So what I'm now going to do is I will now tap on this first one and click on enter, right? Now I'm going to change all this and rename it to regular. So Control R, and I'll click on this current name, right? And then change it to regular, and then click rename. So now can you see this? All the names here have become regular, right? Now we go to the next one. You tap on this frame, click on enter, and then you do Control R again to rename. You click on the current name, and then you change it to what? Medium, because we want this one to be medium, and then rename. And then here it's still on regular, so let's change it to what? Medium. Can you see that? So we have regular, we have medium. Now we are going to what's it called? We are going to bold, right? So click on this frame too, click on enter, and then we click on what? Control R. Click on current name and write what? Bold, and rename. And then come here and click on bold. So now we have been able to create what? This for regular, medium, and bold, right? But we have not yet created a style guide yet. We have just been able to use this as our beginning phase. And the reason why I'm breaking it down like this is so that it is easy for you, right? It is easy for you to be able to say, okay, this is my regular for my web, this is my regular for this is my medium for web, and this is my bold for my web fonts, right? Now after you have done this, what is the next thing to do? We have been able to create all this in the different font sizes, right? And now let's now do it. So what we are going to do is I'll tap on each of the frames, tap on this, tap on this, tap on this, and click on enter, right? Now I'm going to use another plugin. So don't forget, we have used the first plugin when we wanted to create different sizes. Now we want to create a guide, a style guide. So we're now going to use this plugin, which is called our text style generator. Can you see it? So if you want to, you can just search text style generator. I think it's this. Why is it not? Okay. Now, can you see what happened? Let's see. Can you see this now? all of them are here. Look at them. Can you see them? All of them are here. This is the one I created before. Let me delete this too. Delete. Right now I can put all this into, I can group all of them, group selection, and I write web. Let me put in bold, web, yeah, and then close. Can you see that? So now we have created our style guide for web, so we can have the display fonts. You can see it's in regular, and one thing I like to do is I also like to group what I'm doing, so I can put like this display regular into groups. So this is display 1 regular. I can still do, where's the next one, display 1 in medium. So hold on, my shift key, was it display 1, no, I say no, okay, display 1 medium, display 1 bold. I'm clicking on all the display ones, and I can group them, and I put them into a folder called display, right? Display 1. Now all my display 1 fonts are going to be inside here. I can do the same thing again for display 2. Click on this, next display 2, and the last one display 2. Sorry, I don't know why that moves. And then group selection, and then write what, display 2. Can you see that? So if you look at display 1, we can see all our display 1 fonts here. We can see the regular, for the medium, and for the bold. Can you see that the first time? And now for mobile, this is like a style guide I always would use. Let me bring something. I think I already wrote it down so that we can all see it together. Yeah, let me bring it here. Yeah, so this is like a guide I always use for my mobile, and I feel like you can also use it as well, and to really guide you, right? You know, we're able to create this first one using like the plugin. But what about mobile, right? You can also use this as well, so that you can, you know, maintain your work, and it's going to be good. So what I'm going to do is, this first one, you know, in the previous one when we generated it, the display was 61, or here you can change it to like 36, right? And then here for display 2 you can change it to like 32, and the third one you can change to like 28 28. The fourth one, 24. Then this header 3 you can change it to 20, right? 20. And then header 4 you can change it to 18. Sorry, I want to write 18. And then this body you can write it 16, so it's good your body is at 16. And then body small is like 14, you can put at 14. And then the last one, which is your caption, can be like at 12, right? Yeah, so this is like the first thing I would do when I'm creating like for the mobile, right? And then what I can now do is the same thing I did before, right? So I'm just going to duplicate this 3 times, 1, 2, which is now in 3 places. So this one's going to be for regular, this one's going to be for medium, and this one's going to be for bold. So what I'm going to do is click on this first one and click on what, enter, and then I what, Control R, and then oh no, before that, have I changed all this? Okay, yes I have. So Control R, and then what am I going to do here? I'm going to rename it to what? I'll put the current name and put what, regular. I don't want to be like this, regular. Yeah, I do the same thing for the other ones. Click on this, click on enter, and what's Control R, and then you do what, click on current name, and this one is going to be our medium, right? Medium. And then click on what, rename, and then I can come here and change it to medium. And mind you can change any of these fonts. You know, currently we are using Inter. You can change any of them to another font. It doesn't necessarily have to be Inter. You can use any font you're creating for. You can always change the font, right? Then I'm also going to show you guys something, right? So just stay with me. Then click on this one too, click on enter, and then click bold, right? So we have this which is for our web and this which is for our mobile, right? So we have like two um this thing for us that we can use for both our mobile and then for our what's it called, mobile view as well. So web and mobile view. So now after doing this, what am I going to do? The same thing we did for the web. Just going to click on this, click on this, click on enter. I clicked on all the frames. That's three of these frames: the regular, the medium, and then the bold. And I clicked on enter. And then here I'm going to come to my plugin and click on generate styles, right? And now if you click outside, you realize that it has generated all this again for us. Can you see that? So we have all our different text styles, right? Our text style guide, and you can just group selection and put it under what, mobile. Yeah, and put it under mobile. Can you guys see that? So this is how um you can actually, I don't, did I change this? Oh, I didn't change it to bold. I just realized that I didn't change it to bold. I didn't change it to bold. Maybe I think I should do that again. So I want to change this to bold so that everything looks, properly done. Um, Click on enter, click on Control R, current name, and what's bold. Bold. Um, Sorry, can someone mute their mic? Yeah, I think this sound getting. I don't know if it's okay. Yeah, so now I think I've changed it to the proper thing. This one is in medium. Wait, what? This is regular. This is what? Medium, and then this is bold. Yeah. So now I can now create the style guide from this, and I click on enter. And then what am I going to do? I'll go to text style generator, this, and what creates the text styles. I hope I deleted the other ones. Okay, yes I did. And then now I can put all this and what, group it and put it into mobile. So now can you see that we have been able to generate not just for only web, but we have also been able to generate for mobile. So now we have two text styles. So if you're working on maybe a website for a particular product, you know exactly what to use in your display one, your header one, your caption. You can see everything here, and you can also come and change it, right? So for example, maybe this caption, let's say I wanted to change this body small to 13. I can come here and I change it to, change it from 13 to maybe 12. I can come here and change it to 12. Can you see that? And is affected already. Can you see that? So it's the same thing that you can always do. So if you are applying it on a mobile or desktop screen, for instance, let's use our desktop. Let's say we are creating like a landing page, for instance, right? And we are going to write, what can we write? Maybe, what can we write? Maybe maybe an e-commerce website or something, and then we just write um, get 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 oh, let me use this one. Get, oh no, it's in this. Get the best quality shirts, or I don't know, anything, quality shirts here, something like that, right? And now because we already created a text style guide, you don't need to start guessing what font am I going to use. You can just go to your you can just go here. Wait, what? Let me see something. Trying to. Okay, you can just go here. Can you see this place, right? Which is this typography, and then you can see your web, and you can see if you scroll down, you can also see this is for web. Can you see this? So you can just select any font that you feel like is the best, which is, so we can go to our maybe display one, right? Maybe we can use maybe a bold. Can you see that? And then automatically it's there. Can you see it? So this way we have been able to use the text that we created from our style guide. So if I duplicate this now and I want to write maybe like a smaller font, right? Maybe I write order now to get to what? Get the best deals, right? But now I want to change this font to like something smaller. That's like the subtext. So I can come here again and then I click on, maybe I'll look for a smaller text that would go maybe like a body of maybe body. Let me use body, or maybe something bold or regular, something like this. I can do this like this. Yeah, I can do that. And then though this may be too tiny though, let me use something bigger, maybe like this, regular, something like that, right? So you can see how we can use our style guide that we have created to be able to impute it in our designs. Do you get? And you can always use your style guide to create everything from your text to your buttons, like everything. Do you get? So it's like a guide that you can use when you're like building, and if you're also designing like a mobile screen, for instance, right? If you're designing a mobile screen as well, there's our mobile, maybe I should use 16 or something, anything, but this is any frame. Yeah. And now when you're designing for the frame for a mobile, if you bring this text here, sorry, let me duplicate this. You bring this text here, right? You can go to your mobile and then change the text there, right? Okay, so this is our mobile. Can you see it? You can change the text here, then you can just come and change this like that. Can you see it? And that's how you can adjust. You can adjust or you can change the text easily with the use of your style guide. Do you see that? And that's how you can keep building and building with the use of a style guide. So you can be able to see that we have been able to create a style guide for both web and also for mobile as well. So now you know how to create a style guide for your web, and how to, if you want to change the font, right? And I'm sure if I change the font here, what's this thing that I use here? I use web display bold, right? Let me go here and see if I change this. I want to see if I change this from here to maybe another. Can you see that this also changed? So you can adjust a particular font or a particular text or size or anything from here, and it adjusts here already for you. So if someone tells you, let's say you're designing a website for a client, right, and you have designed everything using interfont right now, and you want to just change everything, you can just come here, adjust it, right, adjust the font, and then it adjusts here as well, right? This one we use mobile h3 regular. So if you go to mobile h3 regular, right, if I change this to another font, now I'm just using font as an example so that you can see that once you make a change there, it automatically changes. I'm just going to use this h3 regular. Now let's go back to our design. Can you see that this has also changed without us changing this at all, right? So this is, and imagine if you have used this in like so many screens, it will automatically change all of them for you. So I feel like it's important for you to have like a style guide so that you don't manually start doing everything one by one, and then you can easily work with people and collaborate with people as well when you're like working on projects, and it's easy for everybody to understand, right? But one thing I also say is try as much as possible to like group your work, right? Because it makes it easier for you, right? A lot of people just generate and they don't group, but I like to group everything so that when you want to find it, it's easier for you to just go to h1, you choose a particular thing, go to display one. You get, so that's what you basically need to do, and I don't think it will take you that long to like group things together so that when you want them or need them, you can easily access them when you want to change a particular font. So yeah, I hope that with this you have been able to like learn how to create your style guide from scratch, and you have been able to also create both for mobile and for web as well. And you have also been able to understand that once you make certain changes here, they can also have like a good effect on your design as well, right? So you need to learn how to make use of style guides so that it makes your work easy and faster for you. So yeah, I don't know if anyone has any questions or any clarifications you would want to get, and I think this is the best time for you to do that. Yeah. So Somto, Gianna, Blessing, are you guys good? Did you get everything clearly? Somto, I think you want to speak.
Good evening.
Yeah, good
I
evening.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, with this your illustration, get the best quality shapes here. For the web view, I think for the first one you used header heading one,
Yeah.
right? I was thinking for the next text you will use maybe heading two, but you went and you used body bold. I don't know which of the bodies. So my question is, when do you decide what size you will use in each place, or is it just um
Oh, this
so
was
because
just
of
as a sample though. It's not like this is exactly what you're meant to use. It's just as a sample to show.
uh,
Yeah. But
yes,
there is
but still like
a guide, right?
yes, when do you know what when where to use what so that it will the text to like it will look good in the eye, so it doesn't
Okay.
just you know
So
yes.
I actually created something which I think I'll just add here. I was even meant to share that, but I think it's good you asked this. I don't know how well it's going to show here. Okay, I don't think it's going to show well. So let me duplicate this. I'm going to show you something now so that you can see this. Okay, okay. Let's see. So I want to show you something that I created, um, and I like to, as I said, I like to use ChatGPT a lot to like create stuff. Okay, so can you see this? Can you see this? I created like a
Yes.
guide where you can be able to understand where to use which font and when, right? So, for example, if you see the display one, they are good for like hero sections, like so the hero headline on your landing page, like what you saw, you can use your display one there. On the mobile as well, the same thing. On your display two, you can use it for like large metrics, account balances. This one is talking about this because I'm talking about like a fintech product, right? So if you are designing a fintech product, for instance, you can use this display too when you're writing like your account number, your account balance, all those kind, not account number, your account balance, right? You'll be able to see like your use of display too, right? I'm using it in a real life scenario, right? For header one, when you're writing like, when you're designing um how would I say this, when you're designing like a web view, for instance, and you have a dashboard, on that first page, on top of it you see that text where they write dashboard or anything. You can use like your what's it called, header one for that. Do you get? And then on the mobile as well, you can do the same. And then for header two, when you are like, which app can I use where you can see your recent transaction, those texts there. Do you get? Yeah, you can use that as well for like header two. Do you get? And then you can see your title as well. These are just like examples of how you can use this in a fintech product. But um if you want to like go deep into it, you can just research and check it out and see, okay, where do I use most of these fonts, where should they go. You get? I feel like the reason why it's always good to do research is you learn more, right? You start to learn more by yourself, right? I don't think anybody has all the answers they can give you. They can always give you a guide. They can tell you, okay, use the body font here, use the header font here. But when you actually start designing and using them yourself, and then you have like a guide by your side, right? Like what I have, for instance, it helps you to do it side by side, and you're like, okay, this font should actually be used for this, right? If I use this is going to be too small. If I use that, this is going to be too big. Do you get things like that? And then you start to realize that, okay, this is the best font for this text, this is the best font for title, this is the best font for body, this is what I'm meant to use for my caption. Do you understand what I'm saying? So but one thing I always say is, me personally, when I'm designing like both mobile and web, I try to use 12 as the least. In short, I think 12 is even too tiny for web, so I use maybe like 14 for like web. But if I'm designing like mobile, I can use like 12, right? Because the least text that someone can really see when they're using their phone, if you go less than 12, it's going to be really difficult, right, for people to be able to read. And this is based on, amount of time I've been able to design a product, and the amount of time I've been able to see people using a product, right? So there's some text that you see they're so tiny, they're using most likely something less than 12. You get? So that's why it's so tiny, right? So this is how you can see a guide. This is in practical fintech UI, for instance. You can see how header 2 is used for recent transaction text. You can see this, right? So it's just like a guide for you to be able to know, so you can always like do research um, and see how exactly you can use a particular text and what to use it for, right? So I hope that answers your question, right? And I hope it helps you to be able to like find out exactly when to use what, and when exactly to use it. So yeah, but I would say as a designer, you learn by practicing. Yeah, you learn by practicing, by actually doing it. The moment you start to realize, oh, this is the title, this is my body, right? So if I'm designing, there are some fonts that I already know I cannot be using maybe in my mobile. Do you get? I already know that, okay, this is maybe for like my what's it called? This is most likely something I'll use for um, what's it called, for mobile. Do you get? So it's important that you know like exactly what to use, but it's by practicing, it's not just by guessing, right? So you have to practice as well, and you start to say, okay, this one will be better, this one will not be better, like that, like that, like that. These are just examples, right? But if you want to really go deep into it, you yourself have to practice, right? And 61 is not like the most that you can use in a what's it called, in a hero section or as your display one. You sometimes see some fonts that are as big as, like, maybe something like, let me use, I like to use should I use this? So maybe some people use big fonts, right? Like very big fonts um in their hero section, depending on your design, right? So that's why I'm saying it depends on how you continue to practice. You start to learn some different sizing and how to use those things, right? Yeah. So Gianna, go ahead. You have a question?
Can you share the guide that you had on the fintech and what you were?
Okay, no problem, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, you have another question?
No, by mistake.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Blessing, are you good? Were you able to learn something? Is everything clear? Okay. Victor, what about you?
Yeah, I'm good. I didn't join for like a minute, but yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Sumto, what about you? Are you totally clear now? Sumto, are you there? I said, are you totally clear? Okay. No problem. So yeah, that's exactly how you can create style guides, and this really helps you in the long run. But as I said, please and please try as much as possible to practice. So for your assignments, what I want you to do is, one, create your color style guide for FinEasy, and then create a text style guide for FinEasy, right? But for your FinEasy, just create mobile. So instead of doing both web and mobile, just do mobile, right? Yeah, do that. You can use the guide that is already here, that I said for it. I mean this one, yeah. You can use it to create like your mobile style guide. I can do it from scratch by yourself, right? You can actually just create your own by yourself, and yeah, you don't really have to use a plugin. I only use a plugin to show you how to do it, but you can actually do it by yourself, right? You can just come here, create a style guide like this. You can see I create this one is going to be called what, maybe my display one, and then create style. So this is how you can manually, you can see that it has manually created by itself. Can you see it here? I just created that myself without even a plugin. So you don't necessarily have to use plugins every time. If a plugin ever doesn't exist again, you know how to do it yourself manually as well. So yeah, I hope that helps you, and yeah, I hope we're all able to learn something from today's class, and I can't wait to see all of us in the next class, right? Yeah, so happy designing, guys. See you in the next one, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next class. Bye, guys.